through your game and you handle your day, and deal with the things that you liked and the things that you didn't like that you got to be better at tomorrow, and then make sure you cut it off. So you have to deal with it, and you have to deal with it in full, and then you start the process of getting ready for tomorrow.
On that, any updates on Barkey and Benny?
Yeah, no update. I mean, I think there's a chance they both play, but I can't give you a guarantee yet.
And on that, I mean, Chucky was just talking about it, just the thought of having, finally kind of a fully healthy lineup here at some point. That's what really excites the guys when it comes to this stretch.
Yeah, those 2 games, the last 2, they seem a lot different, but in terms of effort spent, you put those 2 guys back in the lineup, and you've got a major change in one position, one specific position, so important to the game of hockey, so there would be more optimism for sure.
Now that you've had kind of a night to sleep on it, just what are your thoughts about last night? Only asking because you seemed more upset than usual after a game last night?
Yeah, well, you spend a lot. You're frustrated because you don't have a lot of games where you spend that much time in the other team's end and can't get pucks by them. And we did our hunt backs, and we created an awful lot of turnovers there that we didn't get to the net. It's just, you miss the net 22 times and you get 25 blocked. There's something wrong, and our positioning in zone was just off by 3-4 feet. Those are hard 3 or 4 feet to get to, net front and slot hole, and I think that caused us some problems.
Is there any just thought looking ahead? But now it's the trade deadline today. You see a lot of teams that you're fighting with in the standings, making moves, doing things. Are you comfortable that with the roster you guys have, you'll be able to compete?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of teams that have added a bunch of players, and it changes the way they look, right? So you can argue, and they will, that they're much better or they're stronger in those positions. And then you add one guy, unless you have a really big hole in your lineup that you can plug with one player, I'm not sure that I guess there's one team every year that gets to say those trades worked, right? One. Maybe the other team gets to 2 because it got them there and they got close. But other than that, there's a lot of capital spent today that doesn't get the teams to where they need to get to. So if it makes you better, I always look at these things as, sure, does it make you better next year too? Those are the ones that are exciting, and those are harder to do.
Yeah, I can't remember a deadline like this ever, where this many first-round picks and stars. Do you have a reason you think that teams have gotten more aggressive with kind of going in?
Certainly in the East, there are some powerful teams that, on a case-by-case basis, can make a legitimate statement that they're there, that they're that close. And then when it starts happening early, you got more days to think about what the other team that you think you're competing against just did, right? I've always found that it's Jim Rutherford would always make his trades real early, right? He'd get them done in January, maybe add something at the deadline, and then it would go crow, and then it would just be a frenzy toward the end to keep up with the Joneses. This thing started to happen earlier, so there's a lot more nights those GMs be able to go to sleep going, hey, that team that we may face here, we got a legitimate chance. So I think that pushed everything into hyperdrive.
I mean, looking back at this team over the last block of 10 games, it seems like you guys have had a lot of slow first periods. I mean, how do you remedy that?
I haven't felt it. I mean, we haven't been able to come out and dominate teams in the first periods. I think both the games are tighter in the first. There's more tension in the first. I don't feel we're that far behind it in the first.
Thanks so much.